We're pregnant. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tasha from Tasha on Lock, and today we have a special guest, my husband Mike. He is here today because you guys have been asking about his reaction to me telling him about the pregnancy and just all the questions that you guys have been asking. We're going to be answering them today and kind of giving you the little rundown on how this all even happened, where it even began, and we're just going to tell you the whole story. And as always, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can stay updated with my future YouTube videos. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this video. We're going to talk about our pregnancy and answer y'all's questions. So let's get started. All right, so let's start from the beginning. Starting in February, let's go all the way back to February. So Mike was doing some traveling for work, and some of the coworkers got sick. Of course he got sick, then he came home right to me. I got sick, then I got over it. So I'm like, okay, cool, vacation is about to come up. I'm like, all right, I'm better, I feel better, ready to go on vacation. Well, of course, like a couple days before vacation, I started getting that little tickle in my throat, like when you feel like you're about to get sick. And I'm like, oh no, I'm feeling sick again. And Mike was feeling better, and I'm getting sick again. So literally, we're flying out to Miami, and I'm like having a sore throat. And it just got worse and worse. It started developing into a cough, like one of those ugly coughs that you see somebody like struggling, like coughing up a lung, and you're like, oh, that was me. I was that person. It was a hideous cough. That was like from February 14th to the 20th. That was our Miami trip. Then we came home and we did a staycation in Indianapolis. So our staycation was from February 21st to February 24th. And during that time, I was still sick, wasn't feeling better. So Mike wanted me to go check out the med clinic so I can just see what's going on. So I went there, they tested me for COVID, they tested me for the flu. Like, I was negative for everything. So I was like, well, what's going on? So they gave me a little bit of medicine, and the medicine was not helping. So my mom was like, okay, well, you should get some Mucinex expectorant. So I'm like, okay, I'm taking that, still nothing's happening. We're basically about at the end of our staycation, ready to go back home. Now, mind you, this entire time that we are on vacation, I was supposed to get my period. Like, I was getting like some light cramps, and I was like, every day I was like, oh, it's coming, because I feel it's coming, and no period. So I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll just keep enjoying our vacation without having my period. Every time I checked to see if my period came, I didn't see nothing every single time. So I'm like, okay. So we came back home, and I was like, let me just go ahead and get a test real quick just to see, like, just to confirm that I'm not going crazy, like my period is on the way, I feel it coming, it's coming. So I got me a test, and I took it while he was on a walk with the dogs. He didn't even know. So it was just, I just took it on my own. And of course it comes with 2 in a pack, and I took one of them. And of course it said negative. So I'm like, okay, see, I already knew, like, I know what's on the way, I know it's coming. So that was on February 28th. So then a few days later, I'm still having light cramping. I'm like, okay, I know my period is on the way, like it's coming, I can feel it. And I'm not pregnant, so I know it's coming. And so one time I checked, and I saw a little bit of very light blood. So I'm like, yeah, like it's here. You know, I'm like, okay, it's here. Let me go ahead and get my pads and my Advil to get prepared. So the next day, I go and check again, and there's nothing. And I'm like, definitely saw a little bit of blood yesterday. Like, what happened today? And then the next day, nothing. So I'm like, what was that? Now, mind you, I didn't know that that was implantation bleeding at the time. And now I know, but that's really what that was. So March 9th came, and we went to a basketball game with our neighbors. And so we were at the Pacers stadium, and you know, getting lit, turning up, having us a good time. We came back home, and for some reason I got mad at Mike, so I was like not talking to him. He was downstairs. So I went upstairs and I'm like, you know, whatever. So again, in the back of my head, I'm like, why? What happened with my period? Like, I thought it came, it didn't come. So I'm like, and then I started thinking about that extra pregnancy test that I had in my cabinet. So I was like, well, let me just take it and just see like what's going on. I know I'm not pregnant, but let me just see. So mind you, he's downstairs, I'm upstairs. So I take the test and it said pregnant. So I'm like, no way. Like, I'm just like shook. I was just so shocked. I was like, no way. Like, because I mean, we weren't planning or anything, but you know, God's timing is God's timing, right? Mike's downstairs. I put a robe on. I put the pregnancy test in my pocket. I go downstairs. First, you know, I was mad at him. So first I reconciled with him. Then I just like looked at him. Like I was literally like this close to him. And I was just holding him like that. And I was just like.
So at this point, she's just staring at me. And I'm like, we just made up. Everything's cool. What's going on next? She's just staring at me. And she utters the words, it's positive. And I'm like, oh, damn. Here we go, another COVID run. And I'm thinking like, we're gonna have to distance and stay away from each other in the house. And she's like, no, I'm positive for being pregnant. And I'm like, what? Like, you didn't even tell me that you were doing that. So I was shooketh. And at this point, I'm like, that's impossible. It was about 10 minutes to midnight, and the local store down the street, the grocery store, closed at midnight. So she's like, if you want to be sure, you can go ahead and try. And before she even finished saying what she was gonna say, I was in the car, driving down the road, trying to get to the grocery store. So I get to the grocery store, jump out the car, run in the store. The time is ticking. There's 3 minutes left. I'm over here running around like it's the NBA Finals. And I'm sprinting and running around the store like it's the NBA Finals, running to the back of the store, grab the pregnancy test, run to the front of the store, check out, jump in the car. And of course, I'm coming back. I'm like, all right, let me just see what the local radio is playing right now, and just clear my head on the next 5 minutes as I drive back to the house. And it's one of those old 90s songs, Finally, and all I could process was the chorus line. Finally, it's happened to me right in front of my face. And I'm like, oh man, this is a sign. This is a clear sign right here.
God was like, it's y'all's time.
It's y'all's
Finally,
time.
it's y'all's time.
It's happening. So as soon as I get back to the house, I'm like, all right, Tosh, here's the next pregnancy test. Get in that bathroom. You need some water. You need Jell-O shots. What do you need?
Jell-O shots? What?
Anything to get the liquids going. So I let her take the test. I'm outside, pacing outside the room, and I take my own video. And I'm just looking at the camera. I don't even know what to say. And I'm just like, I guess here we go, right? So she comes out the bathroom, shows me the test, pregnant, and I'm like, impossible. Still, like I'm still not believing it.
We were in shock.
In shock. So much shock that the next morning I woke up, opened the next pregnancy test, and before she even had her eyes open, I'm like, here, go take this right now. Take this right now. Go.
Yeah, you were like, take another one right now. As soon
Right
as
now.
I woke up. So I did. I took another one and it was positive too. Because we were drinking a whole bunch like that night at the basketball game. And I'm like, oh, it was the liquor. Like, this is wrong. This is inaccurate.
Some kind
like,
of fluke.
This is wrong. Like, we got to do it again. Take another test. And yeah, so that next morning he gave it to me. And it was positive. So we were just like, what?
right now.
Right, like we were just
like right now.
Disbelief, and I mean, we were just the amazement and excitement didn't come at first.
A couple days later.
Yeah, it took a couple days for us to be like,
settle it
we're
in.
about to be parents. Like we were not like that at first. We were like, just like stuck, like looking at each other, like
in limbo for at least 72 to whatever 4 days. We were just stuck.
Yeah.
In disbelief until it just, the realization just came over us, and it's like, all right, I guess you gotta make a doctor's appointment.
Yep, I sure did. The next day, I called the doctor and I told them, and I set up an appointment, and then we were deciding to go ahead and tell our parents. So we told them, we actually FaceTimed my parents, and we told them, and we FaceTimed his parents and told them, because both of our families are still back in Virginia and we're here in Indiana. So we FaceTimed them, and they were just really excited. I mean, they've been harassing us for what, the past 5 years since we've been married.
Since we got married.
They were like, finally, like literally like the song, finally, like they were just so excited. My dad was grinning from ear to ear. Like I ain't never seen him smile that big before. I think your mom was crying.
Tearing up. My dad can't even hold the phone straight. Her mom,
my mom still had her head wrap on.
Didn't even want to get on FaceTime at first. She's like, what are you FaceTiming
I'm like,
me for?
come on, Mom, just get on. I'm trying to show you my, okay, so this is how we got them on the phone. I told her, I was like, Mom, I did something different with my hair, and I want to show you. She's like, what you did with your hair? And I'm like, I would like to show you on FaceTime if you would just get on the FaceTime. And she was just like, trying to not get on.
Fighting.
She finally got on. I was also asking her, like, are you with Dad? Like, are you next to Dad? She's like, yeah. She's like, what do you need him to be here for? And I was like, well, I want to show him my hair too. I want to show both of you guys my hair.
And you could hear him on the other side of the phone, like, I seen Tasha's hair before.
Yeah, they were confused.
What does she got to show me now? What is going on right now?
Yeah, they were so confused. So yeah, I got them on the phone, and I held this up in the phone camera, and I was like, we're pregnant. They were just so excited, so happy for us. And they were just like, finally, because they have been threatening me. They were like, are you gonna wait until we're 60 before you guys have kids? Like, come on now, you're gonna wait that long? Like, they would just say so many things. And so yeah, they were very much ready to have some grandkids. So that's what they getting them kids now. So they better not ask me for no type of birthday present, no Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas gift, nothing, because the grandkid is the gift. The gift that keeps on giving. Every holiday is gonna be the grandkid is the gift.
So fast forward to March 23rd, we go to our first appointment. And we show up in the morning, and we go through the basics, and we're sitting in the room and we're looking at each other like, all right, it's real now. We're about to find out what's happening.
And we also had our family on FaceTime, so they were there with us. So we wanted to like show them whatever that they could see and like let them hear what was going on too. So yeah, so the ultrasound tech, when she did the ultrasound, she found the gestational sac, but she didn't see the fetal pole. And so she was just like, okay, well, it could be one or two things. It's either too early or you might have a non-viable pregnancy. So, we're like, what? Like, we were just like getting nervous. So they wanted us to come back in 10 days to give us some more time for it to grow so that they could be able to see a little bit better on the ultrasound. So in the meantime, we're at home. We're like nervous, worried, like, pregnancy or not, like we were just kind of nervous.
Just coming to the realization like anything could happen at this point.
Yeah. And then on April 3rd, we finally went to our second ultrasound for like the confirmation of the pregnancy. So you can imagine how anxious we were, because this was the appointment that was going to help us determine if our pregnancy was viable or not viable. So we get in there and ultrasound tech is like, hey, y'all back again? We're like, yeah. So she does the ultrasound and she immediately found what she needed to see, which was the fetal pole and the gestational sac. So it showed and confirmed that we do have a viable pregnancy. So we were just so excited, and I think Mike was about to cry. You were like tearing up. And we were just, that was like the happiest day. So yeah, we confirmed the pregnancy, and then she also showed us the heartbeat too. Now we couldn't hear it, but we could see it, and it was just like a little flutter, and we were just like, oh my God. Like,
that was the moment that was like, oh wow, this is really happening.
Yeah.
Like, even something so small as just watching the heartbeat on camera was like everything.
Yeah, it made our day. I know he went to work so happy, and I went back home. I was happy. I called my mom because on that time we didn't FaceTime them because we were just trying to confirm. But we were just so happy, so blessed. We were praying, just so thankful. And another thing that we confirmed that I was really happy about was that we were having one baby and not two. Because Mike's mom is a twin, and then his uncle has twins, and then my family, my cousin has twins, and then my grandmama said that we have triplets like down the line. So I was like, oh no. Like, I was just thinking the whole time that we were gonna have twins. So thank God that is just one and not two. So in terms of pregnancy symptoms, I have been pretty normal. I have not had a ton of like nausea or morning sickness or like throwing up and stuff. I've had some cravings, and but they haven't been crazy. It hasn't been like Cheetos and pickles or nothing like that. It's just been like, ooh, I really want some ice cream. Ooh, I really want some pizza. Like, just something like that.
You made one hell of a meal the other night though. You had us eating fruit salad and oodles and noodles and toaster strudels for dinner. So
you ate it.
There's
though.
some cravings out there.
You ate it.
There's definitely some cravings.
So I mean, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad though.
That was not a.
It was
a
an
normal
interesting dinner. It was an
at
interesting
all.
dinner.
But she was feeling it, so I was like, I'll eat it.
So I did have, in week 7, I did have a little bit of nausea, and I threw up like 3 times that week. But thanks to my neighbor who put me on to the Preggy Pops, so I was like sucking those things down like all day, every day. Like, even I took them with me whenever I would go out to run errands or wherever I was going to restaurants, like anything, everywhere I was sucking on those Preggy Pops. They were literally saving my life. And but after week 7, like when I went into week 8, it just went away, and I haven't thrown up ever since. And so I talked to my mom, and I was asking her about that. I was like, did you have like nausea, morning sickness when you were pregnant with me? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, what about with my brother? She was like, no, I didn't have none of that. So I think maybe it might be like hereditary or something. So I'm like, whew, praise the Lord. Other than nausea and throwing up, I have had some other health issues. So one of them is that my arms and my hands have started going numb and tingly ever since I've been pregnant. So it's really just happens at nighttime, but yeah, it's like I'll be sleeping and I have to like wake my arms up like this in the middle of the night. Sometimes it happens when I'm like on the couch, or like one time we went to the movies and we're sitting down. Oh, when we saw The Little Mermaid, we were sitting down, you know, for hours, and I'm like this, and my arms went numb. So I think it's like me sitting for long periods of time is making my arms and my hands numb and tingling. Okay, y'all, I'm sorry. My camera went out on me, so I'm just going to finish it out and show y'all these cute pictures. So as I was saying, my arms and my hands were going numb and tingly, and so I found out from my midwife that I have what's called thoracic outlet syndrome. So I've been seeing a physical therapist, and I've been going to them, and they've been showing me different exercises that I can do, different stretches to help alleviate the sensations that I've been getting. So usually I do it before bed, and it does help me throughout the night. So I'm glad that I found a solution for that. So the other health issue that I've been experiencing during my pregnancy is my primary care doctor noticed that my thyroid was enlarged. So she did all the tests and found out that my thyroid levels were a lot higher than they should be for somebody who's pregnant. So they gave me some medicine, and they said it's for hypothyroidism. And it's funny because I have actually gained a lot of weight in the past year or two, and I have not been able to lose any of it. Literally have not been able to lose a pound. And I was wondering what the heck was going on with me, because I have been eating better, and I've been doing boot camp, and now I'm doing Pilates. So I'm I'm doing all the things, and why am I still not losing weight? So when I found out about the thyroid, I was like, oh, maybe that's what's going on. That kind of explains it. So I'm supposed to go see a thyroid doctor next week, and hopefully can get some more answers about how it started and what's causing it. So we already did our pregnancy announcement photo shoot, and I'm sure you guys seen those photos on Instagram. And the next thing is for us to find out what the gender is. So we currently do not know what the gender is, and we are going to have a gender reveal. So our gender reveal will be here in Indy with some of our local friends. And then we're also going to have our baby shower back at home in Virginia so that we can be with our family and our really close friends. So in terms of which gender we want, we ultimately just want to have a healthy baby. But if you had to make us pick, we both want a boy. Now, the dogs have definitely picked up that there's something going on, especially my girl dog. She's been all over me, wanting to cuddle with me and be all in my face, follow me everywhere I go. So I definitely think she knows something is going on. And my boy, it took him a little bit longer to kind of figure out that, something's different. But now he has just been really clingy lately. If I'm sitting down, he'll come over and want me to pick him up like a little baby and stuff. He's just been super needy and super extra, babyish. So I think he's just trying to get all the cuddles and snuggles he can before the baby replaces him. All right, y'all. So that was our entire pregnancy story. We are so excited to be on this new parenthood journey together. And we are happy that we can take you guys along with us on the journey. So you can definitely expect some more videos like this, where we are either both talking or one of us is talking about our journey with parenthood. And we definitely appreciate all the love, all the advice and tips. So if you have any tips or advice you'd like to share, please add it to the comment section. And if you haven't already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss any of our next videos.